Hello, everybody, and welcome to Death. Yes.
Ooh.
Punk is nothing
We're-
but death and the rage
Edgy.
of a beast.
Welcome to Anna Green Gables 1979, episode 47. Both title and episode, both chapter and episode, The Reaper, whose name is Death. Yes, that's the title. I'm not kidding. So let's start. 3, 2, 1, click. But anyway, what was it? Yeah. It has to do again, Shirley. We all have to come to terms with the fact that eventually we'll have our first death of a relative or love or friend or whatever.
Oh,
You know,
geez,
so
I wonder what's going to happen in this episode then.
it is an unavoidable fact of life that, and yeah, for a show that tries to explore what it's like to live and grow. Yeah, and this is something that you also see in his masterpiece, Grave of the Fireflies. Takahata has no intention of ever sugarcoating how dark and sad something is, because as he should not, I will argue, because especially in a topic like the war, World War II, which to sugarcoat something would be a disservice to the people who lost their lives in that period. It's just something that I will argue is important. Like, the writer should have the balls to not sugarcoat anything.
It
Out of
does
fear of
vary
the-
from time to time. Something like Grave of the Fireflies probably is for the best that it does do it like that. There is a point, though, where something can just risk becoming misery porn, though. Now,
definitely,
obviously, Grave of the
definitely.
Fireflies probably wasn't that, but I do feel like that is always something to keep in mind, too.
Sure. Grave of the Fireflies has also plenty of more lighter, more happier moments to balance things out. So it's not like it's a Last of Us Part 2 scenario. So no, you don't have
Which
to worry
is
about
misery
that.
porn.
Yeah.
Again, what's a lovely day.
Look at that painted background. Isn't it beautiful?
Even I just said it's a lovely day. Even
It's
the
utterly
characters are
beautiful.
talking about it.
Oh god, he's gonna see news that the bank is closed and that's what's gonna be that kills him.
And at this point, you should know Matthew won't do that.
Trust me, Dwebs. I know my father will not rest, but I keep telling him because, well, I kind of feel the need to.
Oh wow!
I cannot even make the joke about days before retirement.
I know it's taken a bit to mention it, but Matthew's my favorite character in this series.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Like, it's a great demonstration of how to portray an introvert character. I will argue. It's done with a lot of tact. I will argue, it does, but at the same time doesn't ridicule anything, like in terms of his behavior or anything like that. It's respectful in the way it deals with his introvertedness.
So why is Matthew your favorite, Dibs? Just curious.
most of the reasons what Pedro said. I mean, I wouldn't exactly call myself an introvert, but I do have difficulty in expressing myself also. And Matthew's a great presentation of that.
Mm-hmm. And I also personally, I mean, and Vanessa agrees with me on this. Like,
that's not foreshadowing at all, so.
yeah, might as well.
She's gonna use those flowers for the funeral.
Like for example, like one particular moment that I'm guessing you probably appreciate, Whips, is the realistic way he behaves. Like for example, when Anne and Marilla are hugging each other, and Marilla's saying, "Don't worry, I'll always be here with you," and I'll and then they hug, and while they cry, and Matthew, of course, who's not very good at dealing with these moments, he leaves and kind of deals with it on his own. Oh, there we go.
Oh shit.
He read the newspaper. Oh God. Was I right about the newspaper?
Let's see.
I love how the music just abruptly stopped as well.
The one time we needed attention theme.
Yeah, that would have really come in handy for this.
I can actually
Oh,
understand
there it is.
Well, you're not applying,
Well, to her credit, she's not a doctor.
none of them know. That's the thing.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
There you are. Look at the determination in her eyes as she runs towards the house. Yeah, I was just going to say, take a pulse.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's understandable why not many people will actually know even the basics for a small secluded village like this, and we had to rely on the doctor for everything.
Okay, one thing I will say about this scene is that considering the times before in this series where we've had pretty inappropriate music, this is actually a pretty good music track for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I am glad that they didn't have one of those weird moments, because, that could have soured the moment.
Takahata probably turned to his team, okay, guys, this is a very important scene in the book. We need to get this right. Like, this is definitely one of those scenes where you want to get the whole team, okay, guys, let's think about this properly. We need to get this right, because this is super important.
The lies of that bank manager killed him.
Murdered by the fails of capitalism.
This show is a bit too real, actually.
Yeah, I agree with Anne. Now's not the time for finger pointing.
Or blaming, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Rachel actually admitted when she was thoughtless blurting something out. You know things are serious when that happens.
It's interesting,
There's
Joe.
a time and a place.
It's interesting, Joe, but remember, something like that even kind of happens with the Master Swirling villain of the Ultimate Iron Man comics. It seems that even bad writers understand that in moments like these, even the shittiest, stupidest people can have a moment of humanity.
That was one of the few things that the first few issues of Ultimate Iron Man did well.
And I'm not referring specifically to this one, Pedro. I was just making another example for a
Sure.
story.
But I also would like to say, well, to Rachel's credit, she herself, not like overtly because she's not the main character, she's a side character, but you can also notice that she herself has also kind of grown. Like she's not the same person she was 4 years ago. Clearly, she's much more considerate compared to how she was when she first met Anne. So I will argue it also has to do with her. She also has grown up probably.
Well, yeah.
As a human being.
What I say, though, is that this is also a sign of how serious things can get. Like, even when a character grows, when they do something that they normally don't, you know things are messed up. Example, Vegeta finally apologizing to Gohan. Even with his growth, you could tell that, yeah, we were kind of screwed when that happened.
It's that, what's the name of that trope? Out of character.
OOC, serious business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does raise the question. If their bank is closed, doesn't that mean they're bankrupt?
Basically,
Don't worry, Java. We'll address that.
Like we said, unfortunately, there's not.
Just not now. Yeah, just not
the
now.
time.
Obviously, yeah.
Well, looks like you were right about the flower picking, Dwibs.
Yeah, I figured. So the rest of the episode is going to be the funeral.
That too, and there's also going to be what is, in my opinion, the best the best scene in both the book and the anime.
It's gonna be Marilla comforting Anne, isn't it?
Yes.
Since you mentioned that this would reveal Marilla's character arc to be complete, I figured there'd be a scene of that.
Not to mention, you may notice that Anne had not. Has basically bottled things up so far, so yeah.
And now suddenly the farm, as Green Gables in general, feels a lot emptier right now.
I mean, it was You aren't exactly blameless in this, mate.
No, well, wait,
He's
no,
not the
that should-
bank guy, Dwibs.
No. That's not the banker, Dwips.
Different
That's what
color
you-
mustache.
If that's what you're thinking, like his face was shaped differently. He has a mustache, yeah, but it was
No,
a different.
different colored as well.
I actually thought the same as Dwibs because of his voice.
Ah,
Like,
true, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Yeah,
same
yeah,
voice
unfo-
actor.
They probably
Yes,
shared an actor, but yeah.
They share an
Probably,
actor.
yeah.
They had to use only like 6 actors or so for this thing. So unfortunately,
Though
yeah,
I
they
will
got to-
admit, that would be pretty poignant to see the banker actually come and, admit, yeah, that was my bad.
Just don't say that at the actual funeral. I mean, I can't. Could you imagine how badly it would go for him getting on stage saying, "Sorry, my bad."
I'll
would
take
be-
the L on this one.
Yeah, that would be oof.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry for your loss. No, I'll take mine.
Yeah.
Well, we all grieve in different ways.
Mhm.
Even the narrator sounds like he's a
Yeah, I
bit
was gonna
moved.
say.
Yeah, I was gonna say even the narrators.
Dang.
Maybe DC
Not taking this well.
Maybe DC Douglas was himself moved while reading it. In the booth.
Well, I mean, it's not DC Douglas.
Like,
No,
like,
it's the joke that me and Peter have been running in. He sounds like he's from South African.
Canada, DC Douglas.
Okay, why was that a small flash to the cart in between the? Oh,
Showcasing how everything. Now there you go. See his
oh
pipe.
right, the places that feel empty. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
There's the tease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta sort this out for a sec.
All right, here we go.
I mean, I think she knows that.
It's her way of comforting her.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Marilla's not the best with words, as she herself will say in a moment.
I take it there isn't going to be a next time trailer because we would have had one by now.
No, not really, Dave. So.
Actually, Droops does kind of have a point. Usually by now we do get the next time on. Oh.
There it is.
Ask and you shall receive. There you
Well,
This music
Wow.
feels just a little bit unfitting given all that's happened.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
because most shows like whenever a death's happened, sometimes they either have a more somber version of their theme song, or they just don't have a theme song at all. I mean, there's actually an example that I can bring up that maybe only Shuri would understand.
Like, shoot, even Spirit Writing 3 changed stuff up when serious stuff happened.
An
Like,
example, Droops?
Like basically, Shiro, do you know the original theme tune for Grange Hill?
Yes.
And how the end credits version starts specifically? You have the guitar bit.
Mm-hmm.
That bit played at the end of an episode, immediately after a character drowned in a swimming pool.
Oh god.
That's not.
No, you don't do that.
Sure.
No, okay. Because basically, the means to say that well, basically, actually, that's actually one thing I can say. Actually, while maybe having that song at the end of this episode isn't great, it's at least better than the example I just brought up. I mean, I can even put the theme song up for us. Not for now, obviously, but so the rest will know. But anyway, that's
it was probably because that's kind of how it is for everything, so they just went with the formula. Like, not to mention, not to mention, I have the distinct feeling that they had a limited amount of songs of how much they could make. But again, I don't know the specific details.
I mean, again, we could have just not had the song at all.
Sure, I understand. But at the same time, I have to take some time to give some amount of praise to both Belinda Richardson and Diane Appleby, the actress who plays Marilla, for doing a great job with this episode in particular, because again, they did a great job. And so, like Teo said, I hope they found work after this, so should be fun. All right, Shiroi. So I guess what Shiro see, and let's think about like I said, this was the end of Marilla's career. Think back to how Marilla was when she first met Anne, and she just wanted to send her back at all strength with like, why would I even need a girl? Come on, now look at her 47 episodes, for instance, where she literally tells her, and I quote, "My life has only had real meaning when you came into it."
Mm-hmm.
Like a complete reversal. Completely earned.
Well, it's been like Anne's been there for like 5 years in total, 6 years. 4. Okay.
Nearly 5 at this point, but not quite yet 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
no,
go on, Shiro.
Yeah, this was just. I mean, this was just a really, really good send off for a really good character. Like, not much else happened, really, but no, this was a really good episode, and the acting's always good in this show, but no, this was something else. It was.
Yeah, and Belinda Richardson did such a great job at playing Anne in this particular one. She always does, but it's a hard. These are the kind of hard scenes that are harder to pull off. But yeah, she did great. To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Teo.
Sure. I would like to say something, but it will make things a bit too long, so I want to save them for the actual final thoughts of the series, which won't be long by this point. So I'll try to give the summed up version. The episode itself is good. Having seen Grave of the Fireflies, yeah, you can definitely see the influence Takata did. And to mention something from that I did foreshadow from the beginning, this was the episode that me and my sister remembered still when we watched the anime when we were kids. I mean, I guess it's easy. How can you forget something that is this potent and literally stabs you, like that? My hazy memories just made me thought that instead it was too, super sudden, while the anime instead actually foreshadows this moment plentiful, actually. I don't remember why. I don't know why I remember this wrongly, but whatever. Again, very old type of memory, so I blame in that. But still, particularly also the thing that the entire speech that Merida does to Anne at the end. Like Dweeb said, it might not feel like the super best, but I do believe that it's the intent to make it more realistic, quote unquote, and human. Yeah. But again, I want to save this for the bigger picture, for something what I'm mentioning 3 episodes from now, so stay tuned mostly for that on my part. Next.
It has to do, I will argue, Marilla's choices of words are not always the best, but as she herself admitted right there in the beginning of her speech, because that's just how she is. Because Not all of us are. Go on, Dibs.
Yeah, okay. There's one thing that I am glad that this episode did fix from the previous ones. I could have presented a major problem to this one was the music choices. I wonder if this music was especially made for this episode because sometimes shows do that.
Some of
Especially
the
ones made
music
around this time.
sounded new. Like a couple of tracks certainly sounded new. So maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Hmm.
I have the soundtrack, but it is hard because it's 2 CDs, so it's kind of hard to sort for all of them.
Mhm.
And again, it is really sad that my favorite character, it is dictated by the story, of course. I mean, it is sad to see him go, but they did handle his death really well in all aspects of the end. Well, what little animation they could do at this point, along with the music and the acting. And it'll be interesting to see the final episodes after this to see what the aftermath of all this is.
All right, Jova, close us out, please.
Yeah, no, this was a very good episode, very poignant, and, well, yeah, it does, in a lot of ways, put a cap on things. Heck, if anything, well, nah. This would probably be a little too sad to be the ending of the first book.
I can tell that the book ends on a happy note.
Of course it does. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. As for me, I just want to say one more thing. Again, you have to understand. Again, I've said this before, but I want to reemphasize. I first watched this thing when I was 5 years old. Keep this in mind. It was both this and the Tom Sawyer anime. They were airing at the same time. Actually, they were aired back to back, if I remember correctly. But it's been so long, and there's no way I can verify it. But the point is, yeah, this was one of those cases where I woke up as an appreciator of artful storytelling and animation, because this was the thing that really opened my eyes to how artistic in storytelling animation can be. Because all the other cartoons at the time were the typical cartoons you'd see, funny cartoons and stuff like that. They are mostly comedic, and here was something that was completely different. So you can probably guess why this had such a huge impact on me at the time. So yeah, and this is exactly something that really perfectly exemplifies that, because this was probably my earliest memory of a main character dying on screen in a story that I was enjoying. So yeah, a very important moment for me, and as an appreciator of animation, basically. So thank you, Mr. Takata, for opening my eyes to the possibilities of this medium. So that's all I wanted to say. All right, everybody, tune in next time for episode 48, The Bend in the... episode 48. Sorry, I forgot the title. See ya.
Yeah.
So yeah.